This is a really exciting time to be involved in immunology. Things are moving faster than I think they have done ever. And a lot of what's driving that is the technology we now have. And what that technology does is deliver us data. Data of types we've never had before, on a scale, a variety, and a complexity, which is both a real opportunity to do new science, but it also gives us new challenges in how we actually make sense of that data. The Immuno-informatics branch has three key challenges. The first is to make sure that as a community, people have the skills to deal with that data. Secondly, that we can develop some new methodologies to learn new things from this data. And then thirdly, to create new types of data which allow us to ask better and richer questions in immunology. I'd like to focus on two ways in which I think the Immuno-informatics branch can add value to the work happening in immunology. The first area I'd like to focus on is something called the Greater Manchester Care Record. So I think within immunology, we're used to thinking about what happens at the level of a cell or a tissue and understanding those deep mechanisms underlying so much of the immune response to disease. But do we also think about how that translates as we then get out to a population level? What does the research that we're doing, the fundamental research we're doing on mechanisms of immunology, actually feed through to the level of a whole population? And that's where the GM Care Record comes in. So this is a big piece of work which is integrating data for 2.8 million people across Manchester around their primary care data, secondary care data, and some of the social care data. And that's allowing us to ask questions about immunology at the level of a population. The second type of data that we're trying to pull into the Becker is that around environment, because we know that the immune response is a function of the genes and the environment. So that environment part is really important. So we are part of the NERC Data Hub, which is pulling together data around air pollution, around temperature, environment, the natural world into one big data set that we can then ask health questions over. So we can begin to ask questions of how the pure research that's been done at the cellular level then actually translates when you look at that through the lens of population and environment.